retail market, I think it's always depending on which segment you're looking at. If you're looking, for instance, at food retail, there might be some niches where you can really work on, given that planning is quite restrictive to set up new things. But it always comes back to, are you able really to source the product and then operate a larger scale platform? It doesn't make sense to buy one or two food retail outlets and then trying to say that's the investment I'm operating in. You need size just to be able to deal also with the tenant side, offering them opportunities, possibilities to negotiate something on a bigger scale on the tenant side. So the big question then is, if you want to enter these segments, how do you get scale in a reasonable time frame to be able to on an eye level to talk to your tenants? Otherwise, you always be on the downside, just being not able to really negotiate with the tenants on an equal level playing field.
But again, the question is there value for growth, or is there potential there? Again, you look at, if you dissect the retail areas and you go into the high street retail, the growth has been quite stunning. I mean, if you were able to buy both on the pure yield side as on the rental side. So some of these niche players like Aachener Grund and doing the investments for the Catholic Church, they've been having a run at it, and their portfolio is quite fantastic. I wish I would have had at least some of that. Very difficult to get hold of, and it's a long-term growth story. It's a per year-on-year rental growth scenario, and simply non-elastic land supply. So it's just a valuable asset to have because it's not multipliable. So that's a good side. The supermarket areas, I agree. I think you need scale to negotiate potential rental increases, but only for those assets and the portfolios that you do get. You do have them in areas where you have restrictive planning, but they'll always throw in a couple where they're going to leave, so it kind of evens out again. So there's a massive amount of scenario there either. And we'll see there again, how's the internet going to take that food supply out of town things, and how much are they going to supply home and put it into a logistic asset out of our view of things, of real estate. And the shopping center issues, well, you'd have to take, if the pricing is there and you have the potential to re-gear one of those first generation shopping centers, yeah. Potentially.
You sound slightly less convinced
than
I was.
I just don't see it, because you have these big, over-regional shopping centers that just dominate and flatten everything in their circle of where they can find the consumers. And those smaller assets, I just don't see have a survival. They don't give the same shopping experience that the consumer wants at the moment, so you're not going to attract them. But that's my personal view. Very happy to differ on that.
I think one of the opportunities in Germany is that it is such a stable environment in terms of retail, and you have to worry a little less about oversupply and inappropriate levels of development, which is a real reason to invest there. Back in 2005, 2006, the lowest yields for shopping centres in Europe were in Spain, because all the market analysts were saying basic growth in consumer sales will be higher in Spain than anywhere else in Europe. And we've seen what's happened since, and the market is now starting to recover. There are green shoots, but it's probably going to take 2 or 3 years for rental levels, market rental levels, to come back to passing rents and for that to stabilize. I think in Germany, that value for growth one is a really interesting point. For what is available, yields are coming down and probably will continue to come down, I think, because of weight of money. And that's not backed by really prospects for rental growth, because even as Germany perhaps continues to get wealthier, the consumer doesn't tend to react to that. They tend to say, great, we've got more money, we can save more, rather than great, we've got more money, let's go out and spend it. But there are certain shopping centres that are doing things a little bit different, that are perhaps out of the classic German mould and the sort of cookie cutter, we'll have this list of tenants because they're the established ones that we need in the shopping centre. And they are doing a little bit better without sort of naming names, but there are some that are doing things slightly different. And I think adapting and taking opportunities on some of those perhaps B locations as well, there will be opportunities for more convenience retail. So I would, even at current pricing levels, I would have thought it's still a buy-side situation within. I would be a buyer of German shopping centres.
If you find the product.
If you can find product, yeah.